welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk some body confidence and an amazing book that you need to read. So this book is not sponsored. I bought this book by myself, but I think it is one of the most awesome, just relatable body positive memoirs you could find. And it's by Kelsey Miller, who is the senior feature writers with Refinery 29, and she started the Anti-Diet Project. So basically, one day she just realized she was tired of dieting and she just stopped, and she started doing this thing called intuitive eating, which is basically where when we have a diet, we restrict ourselves from eating specific things, whatever that may be, so it makes us want it more. So with intuitive eating, you stop restricting yourself, and eventually your body learns that there's enough of that thing there, I don't need to keep eating it. It makes sense. She explains it a little bit more in her book, but so much of what she said resonated with me. So as part of her anti-diet project, she went to see a therapist to talk about her eating habits. And one of the first things she says, it's on page 25 if you have the book, it says, "I realize this isn't working and it never really worked. I just want to eat normally, and I don't think normal people need an app to tell them how to eat. I want to be healthy. I don't know if that I'm meant to be skinny, and I don't need to be skinny, but this doesn't feel like my normal. I want to find that place." And I think part of this is so awesome because it's so real. It's such a real perspective. The reason I love this quote so much is that that's something I actually said out loud myself to other people, that I just want to eat normally. When you're somebody who has constantly yo-yo dieted your whole life, or for as long as you can remember, you just don't remember what it means to just not count calories or not eat carbs or not eat meat or not eat. So when you're constantly doing that, it's hard to remember what it's like to just go back and say, I'm just gonna eat this and not think about the consequences. When all you've worried about was losing weight, that's gonna be a problem. And I think it was so cool that she included things like that in here, because it really resonated with me. I really understood that. I was like, girl, I get you. So she gets to page 88 where she's talking about when she just started intuitively eating and how weird it felt. And she says, when you spent your whole life being ashamed to eat it all, expressing those needs and desires is new and weird. Eating a cookie in front of someone felt like breaking a rule. And asking for one, even from myself, felt criminal. And again, I think I understand how that feels when you live in a world where a lot of people around you, me especially, have told me for a long time things about my weight or how I looked. Naturally, you ingrain that as part of your psyche, as part of your experience, as part of how you deal with food. So my favorite part of the entire book happened on page 204 to 205. She was in high school, Kelsey was, and she tried out for the play. She kind of got casted as this background character, and she was supposed to be like a deep voiced, like scary looking person. And so her theater director said to her, "You're never ever going to be Juliet. Never. Maybe you could do Lady Macbeth someday, but I don't know. Come on, you know you're not." And he said, "These are the roles you need to get good at. This is who you are." And she said, "Henry was right. I am no Juliet, nor am I ever going to be. Juliet is a suicidal teenager who married the first guy she kissed and then faked her own death when her parents kind of freaked out about it. The only thing we have in common is that we're total drama queens, and this is the best part of the book. And if you take nothing else away from it, you need to just take this. But that doesn't mean I can't wear lacy dresses and delicate bracelets and long wavy haircuts. It doesn't mean that I'm not worthy of playing the lead. What the hell kind of life am I living if I cast myself as the sidekick?" And I think that's a mantra for everyone's life and for this book. What kind of life are we living if we cast ourselves as a sidekick because of our body? What does that say about ourselves to how other people treat us? And what does that say about everything? It doesn't mean that you aren't worthy of playing the lead because you have a different body shape. I'm allowed to do that, and I don't need anyone's permission to tell me that I can be the lead. Just the same thing as you. And just when she talks about just her dieting struggles and her body struggles, I think it's so real and honest. Body confidence is not a one set thing. It's a journey of finding who you are and what you love and where you've come from. It's all experiences, and there's gonna be days where you can't stand your body, but there's also gonna be those good days where you're like, yes, I look great in this. I look so good. And it's important to live and reminisce in those days and not let yourself be casted as the sidekick. So much of talking about body confidence is easier than actually finding it and harnessing it. But let me tell you something, going on a journey to find it like she did, you know, talking about intuitive eating and giving up dieting, that's a hard thing to do when it's been ingrained in you for forever. And I know that. I told you guys, I went on my first diet when I was in the 5th grade. So for me, yo-yo dieting is just, it is what it is. It's part of the normal. So when you hear somebody, and there's so much power in reading books where somebody has gone through what you have. You know, everything about her childhood I don't resonate with. There are some things that were very, very intense in the book that I didn't struggle with. But there were other times where she was saying those things. And I was thinking, this is so much of what I felt like. I have felt like the sidekick in my life, and what kind of life am I living if I let myself do that because of my body? You know what? Like, it's just her words, and she's funny, and she's nice, and she's somebody I want to be friends with. And I think reading about other people's experiences make us stronger and makes us more open to talk about our own experiences. It's like she still works out and she still does healthy things, and it's just about not letting a diet control your life. That's the point of this. It's not letting your morality be dictated by your food choices. And I think that's so important, and it's a strong message that a lot of young people need to hear before they get into that mindset. When a society tells you that you're only worthy of a good life and living the lead when you're a size 0, it's hard to drown that out, but books like this definitely help. Like I said, this isn't sponsored. I just read this and I fell in love with it, and I think it's an awesome book that anybody who struggled with an eating disorder or body confidence or anything like that needs to read, because it's applicable to so many things. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick little snippet. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you back here later.